Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Continuing going through the Wizard's Tower. I think I already checked this. Yeah, I think I've checked this already. Moving on. Hello?
This trick again? I know what you are. It won't work. I will stay strong.
Are you alright?
The boy is exhausted. And this cage, I've never seen anything like it. Rest easy. Help is here.
Enough visions. If anything in you is human, kill me now and stop this game.
He's delirious. He's been tortured and has probably been denied food and water. I can tell. Here, I have a skin of...
Don't touch me. Stay away. Filthy blood mages getting in my head. I will not break. I'd rather die.
Where are the other survivors?
What others? What are you talking about?
Irving and the other mages who fought Aldred. Where are they?
They are in the harrowing chamber. The sounds coming up from there. Oh, Maker.
We must hurry. They are in grave danger, I am sure of it.
You can't save them! You don't know what they've become.
We can't just kill them all.
They've been surrounded by blood mages whose wicked fingers snake into your mind and corrupt your thoughts.
His hatred of mages is so intense. The memory of his friends' deaths is still fresh in his mind.
You have to end it now, before it's too late.
I want to save everyone who can possibly be saved.
Are you really saving anyone by taking this risk? To ensure this horror is ended, to guarantee that no abominations or blood mages live, you must kill everyone up there.
I cannot decide on that before seeing what's going on.
That is your choice to make, but I beg you to consider what I have to say. You cannot tell Maleficarum by sight. Just one could influence the mind of a king, of a grand cleric.
I don't want the blood of innocents on my hands, though.
I am just willing to see the painful truth, which you are content to ignore. But what can I do? As you can see, I am in no position to directly influence your actions, though I would love to deal with the mages myself.
Perhaps I can free you.
Don't waste time on me. Deal with Aldred. If that is what you plan to do, once he is dead, I will be freed.
Stay safe. It'll be over soon.
No one ever listens. Not until it's far too late. Maker turn his gaze on you. I hope your compassion hasn't doomed us all.
Cullen. I'm sure he won't become very relevant later on. Okay. Let's see what's going on in here.
Do you accept the gift that I offer? Look what we have here. An intruder. I bid you welcome. Care to join in our revels?
I take it you're Uldred.
Oh, very observant. I'm quite impressed you're still alive. Unfortunately, that must mean you killed my servants. Oh, well, they are probably better off dying in the service of their betters than living with the terrible responsibility of independence.
You're turning these people into abominations.
And freeing them in the process. A mage is but the larval form of something greater. Your chantry vilifies us, calls us abominations, when we have truly reached our full potential. Look at them. The chantry has them convinced. They deny themselves the pleasure of becoming something glorious.
You're mad. There's nothing glorious about what you've become, Uldred.
Uldred? He is gone. I am Uldred, and yet not Uldred. I am more than he was. I could give you this gift to win. You and all the mages. It would be so much easier if you just accepted it. But some people can be so stubborn.
Say what you like. I'm going to kill you.
Resistance. Everywhere I go, resistance. How very inconsiderate. I even have the first enchanter on my side, don't I, Irving?
What have you done to him?
Stop him. He is building an army. He will destroy the Templars, and
You're a sly little fox, Irving, telling on me like that. And here I thought he was starting to turn.
never.
That's enough out of you, Irving. He'll serve me eventually, as will you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I'm not stupid. Do you think I'm going to let you wander around this tower knowing you are a pawn of the Templars? You are a thorn in my side, and I must remove you before you fester.
So you're gonna kill me then?
Killing you would be a waste. Your raw potential, with the strength of a demon behind it, would be unstoppable. I can do that. I can give you power and a new life.
You die now.
Fight if you must. It will just make my victory all the sweeter.
Don't forget the litany. It will thwart Uldred's attempts to control the mages and win this fight for us.
Okay. I'm stuck.
The litany! Use it now!
Shall be done.
Poof.
Uldred's trying something!
was it? Let me explain what it is to face a pride demon, my friends. You may scoff and say that our talents exist only to face mages, but you will encounter demons often. They will be summoned by Maleficar and bound to do his bidding, and while at times they will be forced into the possession of a host, they will also face you in their true form, a powerful opponent indeed. Do not underestimate it. Pride is powerful and intelligent. When we have encountered one in its true form, its most common attacks are bolts of fire and ice. Fire they will use to burn an opponent, and the magical flame will combust anything you wear regardless of make. Ice they will use to freeze an opponent in place. Be cautious, for they enjoy employing this against warriors in particular. More than one group of Templars have made the mistake of attempting to overwhelm a pride demon and suffered the consequences, believe me. And if you think that having the aid of other mages will assist you, you are wrong. Pride demons can render themselves immune to magic for short times, and are adept at dispelling magic that is cast upon you, as much as we Templars are able to disrupt spells. Think on that for a moment, my friends. Be wary of how prideful you become, lest you find too much in common with such a fiend. Transcript of a lecture given by Varen, Templar commander of Tantervale, 686 Steel. Win! Level up. Give you some of that. Give you, of course, some magic. Also give you some will. Heroic defense. Caster shields an ally with magic, granting bonuses to defense, cold resistance, electricity, fire, nature, and spirit resistance. Although at a penalty to fatigue, meaning that the ally's talents or spells will cost more to activate. Caster summons a wisp that grants a small bonus to spell power for as long as this mode is active. Have a wisp. Cinderfell gauntlets. Better than what you have. Heavy plate. I don't have enough for it. Take it anyway. Win, you get new gloves. Okay, let's talk to the first enchanter.
Maker, I'm too old for this.
Irving, are you all right?
I've been better, but I am thankful to be alive. I suppose that is your doing, isn't it, Win?
I wasn't alone. I had help.
The Circle owes both of you a debt we will never be able to repay. Come. The Templars await. We shall let them know that the tower is once again ours.
Very well.
I'll need you to guide me down the stairs. Curse whoever insisted the Circle be housed in a tower.
Or at least not put in a lift. Hey, most powerful foe was Uldred.
Irving? Maker's breath. I did not expect to see you alive.
It is over, Gregor. Uldred is dead.
Uldred tortured these mages, hoping to break their wills and turn them into abominations. We don't know how many of them have turned.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
Of course he'll say that. He might be a blood mage. Don't you know what they did? I won't let this happen again.
I am the Knight Commander here, not you.
Well, what does the Knight Commanders think, then?
We have won back the tower. I will accept Irving's assurance that all is well.
But they may have demons within them, lying dormant, lying in wait.
Enough! I have already made my decision. Thank you. You have proven yourself a friend of both the Circle and the Templars.
Then what about the Darkspawn? I require aid.
I promised you aid, but with the Circle restored, my duty is to watch the mages. They are free to help you, however. Speak to them.
What will the Templars do?
For now, I will have to oversee a sweep of the tower. There may be some survivors, and we should do our best to tend to them. Please excuse me. And Irving, it is good to have you back.
I'm sure we'll be at each other's throats again in no time.
I'm glad I'm still alive, but the Circle's future still remains to be seen.
Here we are, the tower in disarray, the Circle nearly annihilated. Oh, it could have been much, much worse. I am glad you arrived when you did. It's almost as though the Maker himself sent you.
Glad I could help.
From what Gregor said, it seems that you came here seeking allies. The least we can do is help you against the Darkspawn. I would hate to survive this, only to be overcome by the Blight.
What about the tower? Don't you have to stay here?
We will do what we can for now. But if the Blight spreads, the tower itself will be lost. Stopping the Blight is more important. You have my word. As first enchanter, the Circle will join the Grey Wardens in the fight.
Irving, I have a request. I seek leave to follow the Grey Warden.
When we need you here, the Circle needs you.
I appreciate the sentiment, Irving. But the Circle will do fine without me. The Circle has you. This man is brave and good, and capable of great things. If he will accept my help, I will help him accomplish his goals.
I'd be honored to have you join me.
You were never one to stay in the tower when there was adventure to be had elsewhere.
Why stay when I can be of service elsewhere?
Then I give you leave to follow the Grey Warden, but know that you always have a place here. There is much to be done here, and I must go. You must forgive me for not being a proper host.
Yes, my duties also call me away.
When the time comes, we will stand beside you.
She spent many years mentoring apprentices within the Circle, and her peers thought so highly of her that she was asked to be first enchanter, Irving's successor, but she refused, saying that she had no desire to work in the upper echelons. When word reached the Tower of King Kaelin's call to arms, Wynne volunteered to go to Ostagar.
You remind me of Lady Cecilia.
I don't know if I have the strength for another big battle.
The Grey Warden saved us. Fighting the Blight is the least we can do.
True.
Dang it, you guys interrupted a conversation.
The Circle has always played a part.
No, I cannot.
I dread to think of what might have become of us if you hadn't come along.
I think we'll be all right now, thanks to you. The children are already a lot calmer. Come, Swift Sword, and deliver me that I might find the Maker again.
Come on, you've rested enough. We need to get these out of the tower before they get fragrant.
Touching those abominations.
Apparently I didn't find all the notes. Oh, that's the summoning font. I already did it. Check the second.
At first you don't succeed. Go to the next floor.
I killed 228 people, 109 undead or demon. That's nothing. Magic staff. Meh. It's kind of weird with no music. Magic staff.
Oh, it's you! You saved the circle. I'd kiss your feet if you didn't look as though you'd kill me if I did that. You'll settle for a handshake, won't you? Maybe a kiss on the forehead, eh?
Handshake, yes. Kiss, no.
Suppose we feel the same way then. Might not seem like much coming from me, but I appreciate what you've done for us.
Anything in here?
Think again.
Ask away. Sorry.
Attack!
Calm down, Alistair. There's no one here.
Break the door.
Break it down! Magic staff. Okay, to the third then. Strange, I usually finish this before I finish the tower. Sword lowered to strike through and ground. Threads burned before a giant, spear raised. Vessel in hand, words from another time drip literal power. Sword raised to sever connection. Sword lowered. Ow. There it is.
The story has a happy ending for our young taker.
I'm telling you guys, it's a test like the summoning. Why else would lessons be cancelled? And that outburst in the library with Uldred? An older tome fell to a port on the Reaching. I copied what I could before they pushed us out. Sword lowered to strike through and ground. You can't tell me I wasn't supposed to see that. It's too convenient. I'm looking for more, and you'd be smart to help. No, and stop asking. I'm not getting in trouble because of you again. I don't care what's in the basement, and neither do the senior magi. Everything is about Uldred in the upper floors. I don't know what you're digging up, but those tomes are way older than our lesson texts. An apprentice shouldn't touch them. The threads burn before a giant, spear raised. He stands alone, so whispers are known false. First enchanter Dorval fell suddenly to a disease of the lungs. This unfortunate disruption in the direct line of descent from tower founding should be treated as opportunity. The Circle will reform practices to better adjust the times. Many rituals remain invaluable, but some, the Two Bells, Garnold's Lament, Watchguard of the Reaching, Benfor Da, have little or no meaning in our texts. We will move forward as Dorval would have wished, and commit these and other ceremonies to the age we have left. With no plan of estate, his belongings have been transferred into the common library for the benefit of all. Today we passed even further, far beyond any reach of man. The inverted globe of the Black City was always on the horizon of perception, but a path eludes, as always. Untraveled in memory, living or otherwise, there is a pull, and whispers abound. Something great is there, and away from this, always in peripheral, another mind, untethered. Tomorrow I will reach out with my full attention and try to rescue him from his listing. Can someone else have come this far? The wonders we will share. The vessel in hand, words from another time drip literal power. Documents of the Reaching, estimated 2nd century ancient, first enchanter appointed Watchguard of the Reaching to be held in secret. His silver cord transmuted black. There's no wonder his form shattered. What returned was not of the mortal, nor native fade. Does an afterthought prove the gods when direct action is long missing? There's no purpose to this beast. Let the strength of the tower wither it and memory pass. The only legacy to be taught. Stay focused within the fade. Whims escape to their own action. A sword raised to sever connection. Whisper says Great Hall, hidden above us the whole time. The vessel in hand, words from another time drip literal power. Put on bowl. A sword raised to sever connection. Cord cut. A sword lowered to strike through and ground. Bile. The threads placed before a warrior, spear raised, shielded from each side, so whispers are known false. Where is this? It whispered order, but not where. It's in my head. Okay, so bowl, sword up, sword down.
Notes.
Sword up. Sword down. A warrior, spear raised, shielded on either side. Yeah, but where's the warrior? This becomes the question. Where's the final piece? There's something in here. A low rumble signals the lowering of ancient protections. Something is free in the lowest levels of the tower. Oh, there's the spear.
Indeed, he's up there, shielded on all sides.
And of course, you would have to come all the way to the end in this big room, where all the other three were in that hallway. So yeah, I've gone through this like 2 or 3 times. I always forget what the last one is. Because I expect it's probably in here. See? Shields. All the statues are in here. Nope, the last one is way at the end. So now we gotta go all the way to the bottom and figure out what we just unlocked. Oh no!
The great old
I can see Irving's frustration. We should have had like a lift in the middle or something. I mean, what if you're unable to walk? Here we go. Hey, Colin.
I wish I could have gone with them. To fight.
Maybe next time.
Impossible.
Stab, stab, stab.
It has begun.
I am burning.
Can we expect more of those? Because just thinking about the Fade sets my head spinning.
However old it was, the creature discovered in the Reaching has been destroyed. Two-handed greatsword. In the company of monsters he went, down the empty wolf roads across after the dragon to the land where the ice is like steel. The air grows thin as a beggar, and every rocky path is strewn with the bones of the lonely dead. There Dane dwelled, and 50 swords were worn to rusted ruin before at last they found the cave of Fenshal, ancient keeper of the mountains, bane of wolves. Dane sought a way in, which the dragon might be felled. Fiend of fire and talon, its scales brighter than any warrior's mail, teeth greater than men, and all around the slumbering worm were bones. Wolves, men, beasts beyond counting. The fume of death frightened even the wolf pack. and Dane, desperate, crept into the cavern to seek the monster's death alone. There, shining amongst the dead like a star, his hand found a sword, Usaris, forged by the dwarf smiths for an Alamari lord long ago, waiting age after age to be taken to battle once more. And this Dane freed from the earth and struck at the eye of the dragon, still sleeping, with a swift, terrible blow. And Fenshal woke, wroth, only to die. From Dane and the Werewolf. The legend of the blade Usaris predates Andraste. The sword that Dane found in the dragon's treasure hoard, which he used to slay both Fenshal and the werewolf, was passed on to his son Hafter. Dane may have been fiction, but Hafter was fact. In 140 Divine, he led the Alamari tribes against the Darkspawn that flooded into the Ferelden Valley from the Dwarven lands. He not only drove back the horde, he also then defeated the combined forces of the Avars and Chastened, who hoped to take advantage of the chaos. His victories earned him such respect from the tribes, he was named the first Tyrn. After years of ruling the valley in peace, it is said that Hafter left Ferelden, sailing into the unknown east of the Amaranthine Ocean, with the blade still in hand, never to be seen again. Well, we got it. We got a sword.
I mean, you still haven't gone down that door. 'Cause it's literally just a moment.
Nothing here. Now we can leave.
Wen, is this yours?
Oh, my bag of components. Thank you, dear. I was wondering where it got to.
You left it by the fire at camp.
Oh, yes. I remember now. How age creeps up on you and brings with it forgetfulness.
You're a great mage, Wen, and you're sharper and wiser than many people I know. Some young ones, too.
Oh, but you should have seen me 15, 20 years ago. The fires have dimmed somewhat since then. But thank you, Liliana, for picking up after this old lady.
We haven't been to camp yet. Now we will. Party camp.
Go and introduce the old lady to everyone.
Yep.
Hey, this is some weird granny we picked up along the way. She's got a stick.
The Blight. How will you end it?
We have to fight the Archdemon.
Is that all? It is surrounded by an ocean of darkspawn. How will you reach it? If you reach it, how will you slay it? You say you are a Grey Warden. I have heard stories of this order.
What have you heard?
Great strategists and peerless warriors. That is what we hear of the Wardens. So far, I am not impressed.
I'm new to the Wardens.
Will you make that excuse to the Archdemon, or the victims it claims in the meantime?
Sorry. Time to hand out gifts.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
What do you hope to find within it?
Secrets. My mother has many of them, and this tome represents the one time that they were able to get away from her. I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
You found Flemeth's tome and gave it to Morgan. She seems quite eager to start studying it, and Maker only knows what she'll learn from it.
We'll figure out.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Small flat white stone with a gold rune carved into it. I want to say that's Alistair.
I could get used to this, you know.
What is this guy?
Antique portrait, sully, water-stained, of a man wearing furs and a heavy crown. Guess who that goes to?
The dog.
I am impressed. My thanks.
Sten likes paintings.
The wine goes to the dog.
I'm not getting my dog drunk.
A generous gift. Thank you ever so much.
Here, Alistair, have a bee phone. Sten has an eye for paintings, an appreciation that might seem out of character, but is actually an extension of Kunari discipline. He respects an artist for careful composition, a skill that is as much about where the brushstroke stops as where it begins. For Wynne, the printed word is a window to true understanding. A scholar by heart, she feels that what a people commit to the page is sacred by definition. Time to talk.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
You thought I was callow?
You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually.
So, will you tell me now why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
Exactly what happened?
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the Darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
What happened to the other Kunari?
I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
You probably dropped on the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
Did the farmers know?
They said they found me with nothing.
And then?
I killed them. With my bare hands. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
That's terrible.
I know I cannot justify what I have done. My honor is forfeit. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Couldn't you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where'd you fight the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Ooh, Stan can level up. Sten revealed to you the reason he went berserk and killed the farmers. He awoke without his sword. The Barasad value their swords highly and do not part with them until death. The thought that his sword might be lost drove Sten into a mindless rage. He told Sten that you would try to track down his sword. Give you some strength. We got a lot of points. Warriors' Unwavering Courage grants bonuses to damage, physical resistance, and mental resistance, as well as a bonus to critical chance that increases proportionally to the number of enemies above 2 that the warriors engaged. He's a two-handed. Massive two-handed weapons means that each attack offers a chance to stun the opponent due to the sheer weight behind the blow. Carver! You are 15
points.
There.
Dog.
Mabori has undergone rigorous combat training, giving it bonuses to critical chance, attack, and armor. Mabori leaps upon its target, pinning it to the ground and attacking it repeatedly. You only have 3 points, Shale. Shale concentrates all remaining energy into one tremendous blow. If the attack connects, it's an automatic critical hit, but Shale's remaining stamina is drained and added to the attack's damage. After learning this talent, Shale gains a greater bonus to damage whenever pulverizing blows is active. Shale attracts the attention of a single targeted enemy who now views Shale as the most urgent threat on the battlefield, although the enemy may re-engage other party members if they attack it. After learning this talent, Shale gains a bonus to health regeneration whenever Stoneheart is active, while increasing the existing bonuses of that mode. Shale pulls a rock from the ground and hurls it at a target. All creatures near the point of impact take physical damage and are knocked down until they pass a physical resistance check. Friendly fire possible. After Shale has learned this talent, party members who are nearby whenever Shale has Rock Mastery active receive additional bonuses to range critical chance and range attack speed. Shale activates a support mode that imbues nearby party members with bonuses to attack, defense, and health. With other talents in the chain, Shale gains bonuses to armor and to resist hostile spells, and party members gain bonuses to most statistics. However, the aura paralyzes Shale and imposes a personal penalty to defense as well as draining stamina. With renewed assault, nearby enemies suffer penalties to attack, defense, and movement speed. Hurl a rock at it.
You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Is there anything you like about Ferelden?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies!
Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
I'll keep that in mind.
Shall we move on?
Don't the Kunari ever want to change their lot in life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
He might be happier.
Happiness is fragile. Nothing can be built upon it that will last. Only duty endures.
don't think happiness is important?
You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharan. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Shale.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Never mind.
On then.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Gotta buy gifts. No gifts.
What is bloody bronze? The Bard's dancing shoes. That's my new favorite footwear.
Hold on. Alistair, what's your... You need 30 strength for that. Sten.
The beefy boy.
Just want to see what this looks like. Okay. You don't have enough strength. Okay. Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Never mind.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Never mind.
Get out.
Alistair.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away. I already said I wouldn't. The answer is still no.
Phooey. Carver!
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
I'm sure you're exaggerating.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Can't you just wave your staff and make him clean?
No, that's not what magic is used for. Just make him sleep over on the other side of the camp, with Alistair. With any luck, that will keep all the stench confined to one small area.
Alistair, apparently you smell. Wynn's words, not mine.
Win is
Good, doggy. Okay, Wynn.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Yes, you should get some rest.
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
There's still some life in those old bones, I bet.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time. But there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
I'm sure you'll be kicking around for years yet.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
That's charming.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Why do you ask?
You are younger than I, and your nerves yet have some steel in them. Did you feel any fear facing the abominations?
Some, but I knew I couldn't falter.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
Seeing the monster you could be is unsettling, yes.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it. So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
Arl Howe massacred my family. Duncan helped me escape.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Arl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
I'm the son of Bryce Kuzlin, Tairn of Highever.
You are the last of the Kuslans? I had no idea. My lord?
I always took my family and our name for granted.
There is nothing I can say to ease your pain. I am sorry. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I just wish my house didn't have to fall.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
I suppose it's about killing as many Darkspawn as possible.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I suppose that makes sense.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
So in a way, having power confines you.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
You know?
I've seen the way she looks at you, the familiarity with which you speak, how she always finds a way to place herself next to you.
So what were you going to say about us?
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Leliana is a remarkable girl, sincere and guileless, and she has opened her heart to you. I would not like to see her hurt.
I never heard Liliana.
Not intentionally, no. But there is great potential for tragedy here, for one or both of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires.
I can handle my responsibilities and my relationships.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
You're making things sound more dire than they are.
Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this.
I'll consider what you've said.
I am just trying to minimize the suffering that may come to either of you. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will. What's on your mind?
Are you feeling better now?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
I like making sure all my companions are well.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind?
I was thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
Everyone expects so much from me.
No one said it would be easy. You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I don't give up easily.
And that gives me hope. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
Only what I've heard in the old tales.
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums and stood before the armies of men.
And what happened then?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching Darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the Archdemon was dead, and the last Darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
When did this happen?
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden. What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already knew the answer. Don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
A little.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
Grass is always greener on the other side.
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
Did you find anything?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
And that made you feel better?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
I suppose priests have to give up a lot too.
The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
It won't be easy to live that way.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice. What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Why didn't you want to stay in the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the Circle.
I'm sure you'll be able to return if you so choose.
Perhaps. What's on your mind?
Talk about the Circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
How did they know you were a mage?
I set a boy on fire.
Why?
It's a long story. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Was he seriously hurt?
I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Who knows what they would have done to me had he been more seriously hurt. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
What a terrible experience for a child.
The barn kept me safe from the village children and the stones they would hurl at me. I was afraid, yes, but it could have been much worse. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
That's a good story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
At least you learned the dangers of magic from the Circle.
Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
Nothing else.
Do you remember our discussion?
What discussion?
About Marjolaine and me, and my doubts about my path. I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you. I'm here for you.
We need to talk.
Of course.
Whoa. Are you feeling better about what happened with Marjolaine?
Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no?
I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times, though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past.
You know you can talk to me if you need to.
It's not so bad. Look, now I have new friends, a new family. In spite of it all, life is good. I'm here for you.
Let's talk.
Of course.
What will you do when this is all over?
I have not given this a lot of thought. What will I do? We've traveled far and wide. Does it need to end?
So wonderful to hear you say that.
There's so much out there. Adventures to be had and stories to be told. I want to be part of it all. I might need some company. And you're not too irritating. You're welcome to come along if you like.
I would love to.
It is settled then. You and I wandering the world, seeking our fortunes. I can't wait.
Sounds like fun.
I'm here for you.
We need to talk.
Of course.
About us.
Wait, you want to talk about us? Is there something bothering you?
You're the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Really? You think so? You're so sweet.
Okay. Moving on. I'm gonna quickly head over to Denerim, since I have some dragon scales.
Yes.
Let's bring Sten.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Denerim. No, wait, we could go to, we could have gone to Lake Calenhad to talk about Sten's sword. You know what? We could still do that. Once this loads up.
I bring word, sire. There are demands from the Banorn that you step down from the Regency. They are said to be gathering their forces, as are your allies. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite the Darkspawn. Pity. I also have an interesting report. There seem to be Grey Wardens who survived Ostagar. How, I don't know. But they will act against you. I have arranged for a solution, with your leave.
The Antivan Crows send their regards.
An assassin?
Against Grey Wardens, we will need the very best, sire.
And the most expensive.
Just get it done.
The Crows send their regards. Between the Tevinter Imperium, Ravain, and the Free Marches sits the nation of Antiva. Although it possesses few resources of its own, Antiva's location make it a center for trade in the north, and the capital, Antiva City, is the wealthiest in the world. Antiva has virtually no army. The monarchy is too weak to support one. Most Antivans would be hard-pressed even to name the current king, as the true power lies in the hands of a dozen merchant princes, each with a personal army, and each locked in a constant struggle for power against all the others. Anyone would think then that Antiva would be a ripe target for invasion by one of her neighbors, but even the Qunari leave Antiva alone for one very good reason: the House of Crows. The most efficient, most feared, and most expensive guild of assassins in the world calls Antiva their home, and their reputation alone defends the borders. He was sent with a small group of Qunari soldiers to investigate the Blight and report back. Outside Lothering, they were ambushed by Darkspawn. They fought off the attack, but only Sten survived. Farmers found him dying and took him in, but when he awoke, alone and unarmed, he panicked, killing the entire family. Realizing he had sacrificed his honor, Sten waited for the villagers to come and, surrounded, expected death. He then returned to Denerim and declared himself the regent to his daughter, Queen Honora, demanding that Ferelden follow him against the Darkspawn, upsetting a great many of the bands. His actions sparked a civil war. Loghain supporters found themselves fighting their neighbors who blamed Loghain for the death of the king, as well as those who simply wished to take advantage of the power vacuum.
Stop that.
Stop what?
That, looking at me and giggling.
I can't help it. You're so big and stoic. Who would have thought you'd be a big softy?
Stop saying that. I am a soldier of the Beresad. I am not a softy.
Softy.
I hate humans.
Now you two play nice. We're gonna stop by Wade's. Wade, I have some dragon scales. I heard you were fascinated with them. Can you make something?
Welcome back. You looking for fine armor?
I'm here about Drake scales.
Of course.
You need more scales, blast it. Find more or kill more drakes.
You're not seriously suggesting they should kill a drake? They're almost unstoppable.
Well, I need more bloody scales. They found some already. I just want them to find more.
Sorry.
Bye-bye.
Come again.
Okay, I need to find more scales. Let's go kill some dragons. What? Now, let's head back to Lake Calenhad quickly and ask about Sten's sword.
Liliana, what do you want from me?
Nothing. I'm just curious. There's a lot we don't know about you, Sten. Except that you're a big softy.
Please stop saying that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of you. There's nothing wrong with having a heart, Sten. It's just not what I expected.
Why?
You're so Qunari. All the stories speak as if you were a hurricane or an earthquake rather than people.
Qunari are most dangerous because we are thinking men and not an unthinking force.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
For your sake, I hope you never find out.
Okay, let's quickly go back to Lake Calenhad. Could have been easier, but I decided to go the long way. Uh-oh.
Oh, thank the Maker. We need help. They attacked the wagon. Please help us. Follow me. I'll take you to them.
Huh? Be on your guard, everybody.
Look there, a cunning trap.
Oh boy.
The Grey Warden dies here!
Enemies approaching.
Sten, what's the canary way for an ambush?
As you say. Shall be done. Shall be done.
Ooh, ah, dang it.
It shall be as you say. Yes.
Heal up, Sten.
I go.
You forced our hand.
Ah, I'm stuck.
So be it.
It is done.
Ouch.
Trap right ahead.
Direct me.
I'm surprised you didn't catch that one, Sten.
Trap right ahead. Trap right ahead. Trap right ahead.
Man, they were really...
I am your death. Begin the onslaught.
Your word.
They really set this place up.
Yes. I go.
Hey, I leveled up. What do I want? The rogue has a keen eye for weak spots and thus gains a bonus to critical chance for all attacks. Additionally, if the rogue's cunning score is greater than strength, sharpness of mind lets the character use the cunning modifier to affect attack damage in places of the strength modifier. The character strikes at a target once, dealing normal damage as well as stunning the opponent unless it passes a physical resistance check. The character then strikes with the other weapon, generating a critical hit if the target was stunned. Let's go with lethality. Let's wake him up.
Oh, what? I rather thought I would wake up dead, or not wake up at all, as the case may be. But I see you haven't killed me yet.
I have some questions.
Ah, so I am to be interrogated. Let me save you some time. My name is Zevran. Zev to my friends. I am a member of the Antivan Crows, brought here for the sole purpose of slaying any surviving Grey Wardens, which I have failed at, sadly.
Who hired you?
A rather taciturn fellow in the capital. Logan, I think his name was. Yes, that's it.
When were you to see him next?
I wasn't. If I had succeeded, I would have returned home and the Crows would have informed your Logan of the results, if he didn't already know. If I had failed, I would be dead, or I should be, at least as far as the crows are concerned. No need to seal again then.
Why are you telling me this?
Why not? I wasn't paid for silence. Not that I offered it for sale, precisely.
Aren't you at least loyal to your employers?
Loyalty is an interesting concept. If you wish, and you're done interrogating me, we can discuss it further.
I'm listening.
Well, here's the thing. I failed to kill you, so my life is forfeit. That's how it works. If you don't kill me, the crows will. Thing is, I like living. And you obviously are the sort to give the crows pause, so let me serve you instead.
What's to stop you from finishing the job later?
To be completely honest, I was never given much of a choice regarding joining the crows. They bought me on the slave market when I was a child. I think I paid my worth back to them plus tenfold. The only way out, however, is to sign up with someone they can't touch. Even if I did kill you now, they might just kill me on principle for failing the first time. Honestly, I'd rather take my chances with you.
Won't they come after you?
Possibly. I happen to know their wily ways, however. I can protect myself as well as you. Not that you seem to need much help. And if not, well, it's not as if I had many alternatives to start with, is it?
Can I expect the same amount of loyalty from you?
I happen to be a very loyal person. Up until the point where someone expects me to die for failing. That's not a fault, really, is it? I mean, unless you're the sort who would do the same thing, in which case I don't come very well recommended, I suppose.
What do you want in return?
Well, let's see. Being allowed to live would be nice, and would make me marginally more useful to you. And somewhere down the line, if you should decide that you no longer have need of me, then I go on my way. Until then, I am yours. Is that fair?
Why would I want your service?
Why? Because I am skilled at many things, from fighting to stealth and picking locks. I could also warn you should the Antivan crows attempt something more sophisticated, now that my attempts have failed. I also know a great many jokes. 12 massage techniques, 6 different card games. I do wonderful at parties, no?
Okay.
Fine plan. But I would examine your food and drink far more closely from now on, were I you.
That's excellent advice for anyone.
Welcome, Zevran. Having an Antivan crow join us sounds like a fine plan.
Oh, you are another companion to be, then? I wasn't aware such loveliness existed amongst adventurers, surely.
Or maybe not.
Hands off, she's mine.
I hereby pledge my oath of loyalty to you until such a time as you choose to release me from it. I am your man, without reservation. This I swear.
Okay.
Blast and damnation!
Yes.
Actually...
Braska!
Yes.
Ooh, a letter. Sten leveled up. Character has learned to wield two-handed weapons more efficiently, reducing the penalties to attack and defense from powerful swing. You've acquired the small painted box as requested by the Friends of Red Jenny. The reward, whatever it is waiting off the market district in Denerim. Zevran was the crow contracted by Loghain to assassinate Alistair and Aedan. One failed attempt later, however, he found himself at the mercy of his would-be victims. They showed him unexpected mercy, and in return he swore to aid the Wardens on their quest to end the Blight. The task was never promised to be easy. You said you could enter the Circle Tower, and you were believed. Find the small painted box in First Enchanter Irving's office and deliver it to the door marked in Dinnerim as agreed, or be prepared to find yourself hunted across Ferelden. There's a sketch map of several doors. It requires the box be placed on it to block out false leads. Yoink. Okay. Onward.
Good to see you again.
Here's in a play. Exactly. You, I, everything. All a dream. But whose dream? And for whose amusement? Some being of cosmic power.
See if anyone in here knows about the sword.
Welcome back to the Spoiled Princess. How may I serve you today?
Why is the inn called the Spoiled Princess?
It was my father's idea. He ran the inn before me, and he named it for my sister. She was his little princess. Princess decided the country was too dull for her and moved to Dinnerim. More glamorous, she said. Well, she was found murdered, robbed of all the trinkets my father bought her with his hard-earned money. My father died of shock and heartbreak. Mother stopped eating, and I got the struggling in. The name stuck. That's the story.
I like a drink.
Of course. What would you like?
Always useful.
Ha! Water down ale, damp beds, rickety stools. Why do I even bother?
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
You called. I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
Make her rest the souls of all, Templar and Mage, who gave their lives defending the Circle. May they find peace at last.
Excuse me.
Welcome back, youngster. Looking to go across to the tower?
You got the boat back.
Came by, said I could have Lissy back. He seemed sad and tired.
I should go.
Well, I'll be here.
Oh.
Back off! I was here first.
You haven't seen a sword lying around here, have you?
Why, you looking to buy one?
Only if it's a Kunari blade.
A Q what?
People like my friend here.
Oh, is he? Well, that's... see, I'd like to sell you one, but I don't, have any myself. I got part of a glove the wolves didn't chew too badly, though. I think it was a glove, anyway. I know, don't say it. I got cheated. I knew the guy who was here before me. He sold me this spot. Said he found giants and all kind of crazy valuables. He didn't mention that he'd taken everything but the bones and the dirt already. His name's Ferrin. Squirrely little bastard, if you ask me. Which you didn't, but I said it anyway.
Where is he now?
He was going to Orzammar, he said. I imagine he's gotten there by now. If you find him, tell him I sent you. It'll scare the piss out of him. Ah.
Sten's sword may be in the hands of Farron, the scavenger who looted the battlefield where the blade was disappeared. Farron was heading to Orzammar and is likely there now. Well, I'm gonna head to Denerim.
There, more of the fiends ahead.
We got Darkspawn.
Very well.
Stab, stab, stab. Done.
Away with you!
Let's make
You're doing pretty good, Sten. Oop, trap. Trap.
It has begun. We must gain the advantage!
We're good. Yeah, that one sucks. It's an elf fruit. Money! It's better than what I got. Okay, moving on. Huh?
I fell.
Are you okay?
For a moment there, I thought I thought it was all over.
Thought what was over?
Everything. I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
I say we discuss this right here and now.
You have low dexterity. I diagnose you with low dexterity.
Looks like the blight slowly creeping up through the hinterlands.
Message for you, my lord.
Who?
Good.
More things to deliver. Goodbye.
Hey, what? Delivery boy has given you a cryptic message saying that if you're interested in working with the Antivan Crows, that you should head to one of the back rooms of the Non-Noble Tavern.
It is sometimes so hard to believe that you have been through so much at such a young age.
I think I look younger than I am.
Yes, that is possible. When I was your age, I was just about ready to take on my first apprentice. In hindsight, perhaps I should have waited a few more years. I was arrogant, my confidence bolstered by my youth.
It is so hard to imagine seeing you now.
Oh, I've had some 2 decades or so to grow mellow. Believe me, back then I was quite prickly.
So you are like a fine wine, yes? Losing the raw edges over time.
I suppose there is some truth to that analogy, but dear Maker, I do hate being compared to wine. Or cheese. Especially cheese.
Speaking of wine...
Oh, marvelous.
Okay, let's see where we're supposed to put this box. Apparently back here. Opens a crack in response to your knock. There's a light breeze like a change in pressure. Did I just do something possibly not legal?
Dwarven craft. Fine dwarven craft. Direct from
Can I talk to you?
What is it? I have work to do.
I have a note from your master.
What does it say? Ah, I knew this would happen. Just when I was starting to get good. Well, thanks, I guess.
Two can be found in Denrim, the other is in Orzammar. We'll go to the Non-Noble Tavern later. For now, I'm gonna head to camp so I can rest up, heal my injuries, maybe talk to Zevran. But we're gonna save that for the next video. 110 demons and undead. 238 people, 9 golems. Total 653 kills.
I have been studying Mother's grimoire. Do you wish to hear what I have found?
Well, I was gonna end the video, but... okay. What'd you find?
'Tis not what I expected. I had hoped for a collection of her spells, a map of the power that she commands. But this is not it.
Yeah, you look disturbed.
Disturbed? Yes, perhaps that is the right word. One thing in particular within her writings disturbs me. Here, in great detail, Flemeth explains the means by which she has survived for centuries.
A spell of immortality?
Oh, if only 'twere so. Flemeth has raised many daughters over her long lifetime. There are stories of these many witches of the wilds throughout chastened legend, yet I have never seen a one, and always wondered why not. And now I know. They are all Flemeth. When her body becomes old and wizened, she raises a daughter, and when the time is right, she takes her daughter's body for her own.
So why would she risk sending you with me?
I do not know. Perhaps 'tis as she said, the Darkspawn threaten her as much as they threaten anyone else. Or perhaps she believes that this journey will make me more powerful. According to the tome, if the host is already powerful and trained in magic, it takes far less time for Flemeth to settle in.
So if you died, she would have another daughter?
Not by any natural means. Perhaps I should take this as a vote of confidence from her on my capabilities? Or perhaps she simply wished me gone from the Korcari wilds so she could prepare her ritual in peace. A disturbing thought.
Are you certain about this?
Indeed. That is primarily what this tome details. The various daughters that Flemeth has acquired, their preparation and training. I recognize all of it. I am to be her next host. This is my purpose.
So is she immortal or not?
Whatever spark of the demon that made her what she is remains within her, keeps her from dying of old age, but her body deteriorates. Eventually, she would be so wizened as to be senseless and immobile. So, she must seek a new body, a fresh body, and start the cycle anew.
Can this body be anyone, or must it be a daughter?
I am uncertain. According to her writings, certain hosts are better than others. The more a host is prepared, the quicker the transition will be. I am sorry. This simply takes me by surprise. I would have thought I would have had some inkling, some notion.
You really had no idea?
Flemeth is capable of many things. I was a fool not to suspect her capable of using me for her own self-preservation.
So what do you intend to do about it?
There is only one possible response to this. Flemeth needs to die. I will not sit about like an empty sack waiting to be filled. Flemeth must be slain, and I need your help to do it.
Why do you need my help?
Because if she is slain while I am near, I am not certain that she will not simply be able to take possession of me right there. So obviously I cannot be the one to do it.
Isn't that a little extreme?
It may seem so. If you think of Flemeth as a mother, think of her instead as an ancient abomination that intends to use her own flesh and blood to extend her life beyond all natural limits. She did not wish anyone to get a hold of this information, least of all me. Now I have. If I do not act on what I know, then more the fool am I.
Okay, I'll help if I can.
Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Korcari wilds without me. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours.
Do I have a time limit on this?
Not really, but the sooner the better, no?
I'll see what I can do.
I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
Let's go kill Flemeth.
Level up. No. Morgan has spent much time reading the tome you found in the Circle Tower. However, while it wasn't exactly a book of Flemeth's magic as she had hoped, she has learned one thing. Flemeth intends to use her to prolong her life. Morgan has decided that Flemeth must die, and that Flemeth's real grimoire is to be hers. You agreed to kill Flemeth for Morgan. The Old Witch is likely where you last saw her. Carver!
I need emotional support.
I need some cuddle time, please. Carver! No, did you just... Win? I think Carver might need to bathe again. Who wants a bath? Who wants to get a nice bubble bath? And you roll around in the dirt. Okay, time to save the game and call it a night. Man, again, it was a very long one. Well, next time, we could go deal with Flemeth. We could go to one of the other areas. We could talk to people at camp. I don't know. We have a few options now. Till then, if you like this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.